This is such a great week to be talking to you because I mean Monday
Insane
was
week.
pretty
It's
special. You're in the
an
ring.
insanely busy week in the ring with the Undertaker. Sorry, I just took all your glory. I'm stealing your interview from you. But it's a wild week, man. I didn't even know I was going to be going to Raw. And then last minute, it's like, all right, you guys are going to Raw. Why? Because Royal Rumble's coming around the corner. We got the pitch black match, the Royal Rumble, all this stuff. And it's go, go, go at this point. But let me not steal your thunder, Chris. Get back on that.
No, this is what you do best. This is what you do better than anybody. So I feel like I should just like sit here and let you talk because that's what you do.
You're just an accessory. I'm just going to get.
What was it like being in the ring with the man himself, being in the ring with the Undertaker?
Well, I tell you what, he was about this close to getting slapped right in the mouth, but I decided to spare him. But yeah, I'll tell you the truth. It's funny because you always hear the cliche when you're standing in that ring and that bell tolls, it's chills, and I'm like, oh yeah, sure.
Yeah.
That some bitch hit. It was chills. It was pretty wild. But at the same time, to be standing there and doing my thing and to be very recognized. That audience was right on top of everything I had to say, even with the Undertaker in the ring. So I mean that's a big feather in my cap as far as I'm concerned. And at the same time, looking at a guy who was undoubtedly a legend, Hall of Famer, um, crazy, crazy night leading into this Royal Rumble.
Well, and I think a lot of people might not know the through line you guys have here. Both of
Oh
you,
man,
yeah, Paul Bear. Both of you managed by Paul Bear.
3 years that guy led me to the ring, and I love him. He was so good to me. Anytime I ever had to ask him anything, he was like, it wasn't even like he was willing to give it. It was beyond that. It was like he was so grateful to have an outlet to give any kind of advice or insight or anything like that. Like he thanked me profusely for asking, which just to me shows an enormous sign of his character. Um, and unfortunately, he passed away in 2013. I did have he and I had his last televised show that he had at all. I mean, it only, that was in California, but still, I mean, you're talking big television market in LA for Championship Wrestling from Hollywood. So that was pretty cool to be a part of that. And unfortunately, like I said, shortly after that, he did pass away. And he was, even in that moment, gracious enough to call his assistant and just be like, hey, man, could you please leave this stuff for him, for me? And he left me some things in his name. So that was an amazing thing as well, for the fact
Wow.
that he was even thinking of me on the way out like that,
He's one of the greatest managers of all time. And you get to
without a
work,
doubt.
right next to him. What's something that Paul Bearer taught you that you now carry to the ring with you as LA Knight now?
I don't know if I can really pinpoint one thing. It's just that there's a certain aura in the way he carries himself and all that stuff. But at the same time, when you're in the back with him and he's just talking trash to people in the most playful, goofy way and whatnot, or somebody's trying to do a promo over here into the camera and he's behind the camera, pulling his ass out and stuff like that, just pranking people, messing with people. He was the best. But I mean, you get to a point where it's like, all right, well now I've got to rise to the level to where I look like I belong with this guy because this is the manager of legends. I mean, if you look at obviously the Undertaker, but I mean, even you go to uh, 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 the Percy Pringle dynasty. You look at Steve Austin, Rick Rude, like a bunch of these guys, where it's just like, all right, I gotta be up to this level, if not beyond that, to be standing next to this guy. So I think, if nothing else, it was just his presence elevated me or made me elevate myself.